Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Appalachian Eclectic. I'm Aaron, and you can see we are in wood shop today, and first video of 2024. So, looking forward to 2024. I think it's going to be a good year. Better than last year and the year before, probably the year before. So, looking forward to it. Anyway, so we're going to start our first video off trying to save something. And I was making this, or starting to try and make this live edge cherry bowl here. And if you see this crack that developed, and this is a heavy blank, but this crack developed and ran all the way around. So the danger would be when I put this on a lathe, if I kept going, is this bottom part could fly off at a high rate of speed. And you can see this is not light. This chunk weighs probably 30 pounds, and so it would hurt. We're going to try and salvage it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my faceplate on here. We're going to get it up on a lathe and see what we might be able to do to fix it. Don't know if we will. Obviously, we're going to have to make it a lot smaller. Well, let's get to work. All right, so we've got our bowl here on the lathe, and now you can see, put it up a little bit closer, you can see this crack that runs around here. Now this is going to be, I'm planning on the top, it's going to be a live edge bowl. So it's going to be narrower than here. So I'm going to come down, because most of this crack will be, the way it goes down will be below this. Looks like there might be one open up here, but I'm going to come about right here. And we're just going to cut this bottom off. And then I'm going to spin it up, and we're going to try and get it balanced back out. We're just going to take our chainsaw and pick a spot and go. So you can see here the bottom half, you can see that crack a little bit better, and see it did crack all the way up through here. So a good chance it could have formed apart. May not have, but I think that this is actually going to turn out to be a pretty nice piece. You can see it's going to be about to get past some of this. I'm not really going to know until we start turning. So let's grab the tools and get this thing spun up and see what happens. All right, so we're going to turn it on and get as fast as we can without any wobble. Doesn't look like it's going to be too bad, and then we're going to get started. Ooh, yep. There it is. It's all balanced. Alright, so last night you saw we had some vibration issues. We were moving some things around in the shop and moved the lathe, so that one wasn't balanced right. Today we got this one balanced, so I think we got this lathe wired up. So now we're going to see if we're going to be able to get this thing going. There we go. Now you can see we're spinning fast enough to see what we can salvage out of this thing. So let's get our tools together and get started on it. lot worse than I thought. Goes up to here. So that's why I made this line here. What we're going to do is we're just going to slow this down, and we're just going to turn this off right here, so that we're left with what we can use. So you can see our crack here was a lot worse than I thought. Goes up to here. So that's why I made this line here. What we're going to do is we're just going to slow this down, and we're just going to turn this off right here, so that we're left with what we can use. So I don't know if you guys saw that little piece fly off. Here we go. After I'd cut it with the chainsaw, but that's what would have happened if I'd left that whole big part of that bowl on here. Wouldn't have been fun, probably would have hurt. So I've got just a little bit more right here. You can see there's a crack. So I just need to get up to here. I'll be past the crack, and then we'll see what kind of nifty little thing this turns out to be. All right, I think we're good now. So if you remember, I have some pretty long screws in here. Don't want to get into them. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop right now. We're gonna put our mortise on the bottom of our bowl, and that's gonna let us be able to turn it around, take the screws out, and actually get started on our bowl shape. Now normally I would have finished shaping the outside of my bowl while I still had the face plate on, but with those screws sticking out, and it looks like we've got some more cracking I saw right along here. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. We're going to go ahead and make it a little bit smaller to get past this bad spot, and then we're going to start trying to turn a bowl shape out of it. And that can be interesting with live edge stuff because it's a optical illusion. It's hard to tell where's center. So let's see what we can do with it. Alright, now one thing I'm going to do here, because this bark is already messed up and it's hard to keep the bark on one of the naturalized bowls, I'm going to go ahead and take this bark off so we can finish getting it sized up to the size one. It makes it easier to see and know where you need to stop. All right, so definitely not quite as much as I wanted. Wanted to be bigger. That was a big piece of wood. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. You can see right here at the bottom, there's still some cracks. But we're gonna take it upstairs, put a little oil in it, and kind of see what happens. And then I'll let you know the rest of the story from here. All right, everybody, so here's our finished product here. And I think it turned out pretty good. We'll call it a candy dish. So here so you can maybe get a little better view, even though it's dark out, there's not much view to get. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on this so that we can see what it's going to look like, and then I'll explain where we go from there. All right, so now you can get a feel for what it's really going to look like. I think it's going to be super pretty when I'm done. You know, just a cool little candy dish or something. Could have been a whole lot bigger, but I'll take that. And it's nice to be able to salvage it. You know, I thought I was going to have to throw it all away. And so what happened on here was, it's called wind shook, and the tree just, that's one of the reasons it was taken down. You know, when it fell, it just split around one of the growth rings when it hit the ground, or it could have done it before it hit the ground when it was cut. I'm not sure. So that crack kind of made that one blank pretty much worthless, as you can see. One big old log, and we only got you know, just a little bit out of it, a little bolt, but we'll take it. And now obviously I'm sure I have some people saying, oh well, you didn't finish it, you didn't sand this, you didn't do that. All right, so this wood was still really wet, recently cut. The blank hadn't been made that long, and so this is ridiculously wet. It's one reason I left it, you know, so thick. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set it with a bunch of my other little bowls up here, and we're gonna let this thing dry. Probably be about 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that inside of here. It's going to warp up, which really doesn't make much difference with a live edge bowl because that is round. But because of the optical illusion, it doesn't look round. But it was turned on a lathe, so it absolutely is round. So once it warps a little bit and dries, we'll put it back on the lathe and we'll finish sanding it. This one will be for sale. So appreciate y'all watching. First video 2024. Yeah, not one of my favorites, but I'll take it. So happy New Year, everybody. I was busy. Really looking forward to this new year. Really am. There's going to be a lot of really fun, really cool stuff here on the channel, and just going on in life in general. So you're not going to want to, you know, miss anything. So make sure to subscribe if you are not already, and like and share. And I will be giving y'all an update in about a month, maybe a month and a half on this, when it gets totally finished. But we'll just use our little pool table we got here. And yeah, well, the inside doesn't have any oil, but I think that overall that is a pretty cool little piece. All right, everybody. Well, I know I still haven't given y'all the tour around here. Everybody still doesn't know what's going on, where I'm at. Had to get one knocked out this year out of the way, just get back into it. So there's gonna be a lot more coming. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next time.